You have never been in love until you've seen the stars reflect in the reservoir. And you have never been in love until you've seen the dawn rise behind the home for the bride. We are the pretty, petty things. Was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to time, the first of the gang to die. Oh my, Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first to time, the first of the gang to die. Oh my. You have never been in love until you've seen the sunlight fall over smashed human bones. We are the pretty, petty things. And you're standing on our streets where Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first in time, the first of the gang to die. Such a silly boy. Hector was the first of the gang with a gun in his hand, and the first in his cut, and the first, last, to go under the sun. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Friday, and decided to do another crafting stream this afternoon. I'll be back on Tom Clancy tonight. Some more, get some 5 every time. Okay, we'll basically do that later on. Right, so Deathwing, Lady Deathwing's belt. Right, so okay, we've got all these here. Sorry to get a mess. I've been having a tidy up here this morning, and you know what I did? I had actually, look at that. I had actually basically rested my wrist on the bloody woodburning tool that I actually switched off about 10 minutes ago when I was setting everything up. Okay, we might be flitting between like the belt sander and here. Now what we're going to do is got a hot glue gun on. We're going to basically have all these individual pieces. You might have to make some more, which are going to go all along the belt. So here we are. So we've done that. Sorry, let's make sure we can. Done that. So we're going to basically do all of this all around it. Right, so I've done all this already. I might need to do some more. And of course what happened was I managed to find a spare bit of a 30mm triangle rod in case I basically run out. Hope you're all well, guys. It's a lovely frosty day out today in London. It's about just after 2 o'clock, I think. Yeah, it's just coming at the 2:30 UK time. So, right, let's go. So what we're going to do is just going to glue everyone in. Now you probably find it strange to have rather extra long glue sticks. Now, I had to go to my suppliers to get some more 5mm foam for Lady Deathwing, and actually these are proper EVA foam hot glue sticks. Now I'm going to try them out, see what they are going to. Right, let's just spread that across. Now what I'm going to do, because I prefer to actually use hot glue to actually bond something. It's basically going to be like a belt or something like that. So we're going to basically do all of this. If this doesn't work, I'm going to basically start from scratch, to be honest. But I know it works, because all my insane things do work, he says. So we've done some of them. We actually put a little flat bit of foam there, so it actually will bond to this. So I've done quite a lot of crafting over the last couple of over yesterday. I started this yesterday morning until lunchtime, and I basically have a rest before lunch. Now what what I want to try and do, I could have actually put them onto like a sheet of foam plinth pad like that and actually glue this on there, but you want some articulation, because what happened is, this is just basically like, so basically literally these are going to flex with the belt. This is a webbing belt, it's not a leather belt. Now what we're going to do is just we're going to actually put another little plinth on it, which I've actually got some strips already done. I've done all this pre-streaming, so it's no fucking about at the moment. If we need to do some more of these little shapes, now we'll have to. Now before I do anything, I must basically do this now. Okay. I just want to get that shape done so it's done. It's done and done nicely. So where are we now? So that's going to plant itself on now. Raise the height of them by putting some on a 10mm foam pedestal. Now, because I've got room for adjustment for this belt, I'm hoping this will, to be honest, guys, I'm actually winging this. Seriously, I am actually winging this of actually how to make a belt. If I could do it in my own destiny, I could do it in Lady Destiny. Stop that. So if it basically goes tits up, right, sort of like just laugh at me. Pardon my French. Sorry, I'm actually. and leave that to just dry off a bit. Just going to move this just a little bit along there so you don't want to be sort of catching the windowsill. Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen, can you see properly? Of course you can, I'm hoping you can. Now I'm basically going to leave, really sort of align these up with each other. So the burning question is, I've got to basically do it probably like the last few. I might have to Velcro on them. So when we come to get this fitted on the young lady herself, she knows about this, so we can actually make sure this is going to be fit and basically comfortable for her. So that's basically, that's a lot better. That's what it should be. You know, flexibility, you know what I mean? Just basically going to sand this baby down. So I did a bit of housekeeping this morning by hoovering up, cleaning up everywhere. Just trying to think what music to put on, you know what I mean? Right, just on a little pad. There's a little mounting plate again they can put on his belt. So what I'm doing is with something using hot glue, I'm just going to keep it liquid, placing the wood burning tool on it, and then once that's still liquid, just right to that force. And that's saw. Look at that ink. So you've got a perspective of how it's looking at the moment, guys and girls. Be right back, guys. I've just got to go and get a drink. My throat is absolutely. And we are back. Yeah, this is I'm totally winging this belt design. I only hope it works, and I think it will. I'll have to give it time to actually dry. We're going to basically do a little one now. So I'm going to basically literally cut that a bit quirky up there then. What we're going to do, we're going to sand some of this down so we get I think I've got enough cable in here to actually do that across to here actually. We'll see what I can do. I just want you to be immersed in that's what I'm doing, so you're not basically just seeing blank spaces everywhere. Can I say that? Yeah, let's go here. Let's sand this down. what we're going to do, we're going to basically have it like that. Okay, so right at the end there, then you're going to get the, if I can find the pen. And that's going to be a little plate to actually secure it to the belt. And the beauty of this glue, you can actually, the hot glue, you can actually literally, don't need to do double size like contact adhesive. So what I'm going to do, the rule of thumb is anything sort of I need to actually build foam against foam, I can either use this hot glue or I can actually use contact adhesive. And I use contact adhesive mostly for actually, you know, if I'm basically building a new piece such as a breastplate or braces that need to be joined together from a pattern. Probably think what a fussy sod he is. First. Do it that way, yes. We're going to make it a bit more sort of very brutal. Can I say that? Yes, I can. Sorry, I'm making you in a good mood today. Now what I've done here, the chains I've put on there to keep safekeeping, providing I basically don't touch them. And providing like visitors to my craft room do not touch anything in the studio, otherwise these are basically going to be hitting fresh meat. You know, the crafting space for any of you is like your personal domain, your inner sanctum. Like you create everything. I'm going to basically think what we're going to do. See if I can try and move this camera over to the sanding booth. Just bear with me a second. It's on the long extension lead, so it's going to be sort of like a camera shutter. Which I do apologise, folks. Try not to, if there's any like slackness over here, I'll make sure this cape's not going to be. It's the only thing that's basically keeping it from taut is the. There we go, so you can actually have a. So you go, there you go. You got a shot of my belt sander, guys. make it. I'm trying to smooth as much of this swarf off as best I can. I'm not going to basically hurry this. I don't want to cut corners here, guys. Because when it comes to painting it, I don't want a really nice paint finish, you know what I mean? So where we've done that, where we've actually flattened it, is where the base plate's going to be, guys and girls. So I just wait for glue to cool down and let it start going. Here we are. So basically sand it down once this is all cooked. Let's just move this over here. Now what we're going to do is some of this we're going to have to actually basically change its direction. So we'll literally put, so I'm going to think about this, Andy. We had a bit of problem because last time, you know, this happens. You know, I can't help it. Can't help it because like my suppliers, I've used some of this initially. This is like a 30mm triangular rod, and I had to literally make do what I've got. So it means like basically doing a lot of shaping in 15mm foam. So we've done this yesterday with about 3 sections glued together, and then basically turned and get another. So we've got a flat piece there. So let's see where we've got to go now. That way, that way, that way, that way. Yeah, that way. So it's going to be on like the flat piece I've just sanded down. And the good news is my props wall mounted, my props flexi hang mounted, the panels are actually basically for me to actually put metal bars to actually hang the prop has arrived. So I've got the fun bit of actually putting all that together. That arrived yesterday actually, which is good news. So that's another task I've got to do. I'm going to try and see if I need it. I have to basically try and find some installation instructions from their website, you know, to actually do it. Because usually the garage actually can get them because they're part of the same company. People who basically make it to convert the garages. So I'm not sure what's happening because I have to speak to the boss because he says it was delayed and apparently they said they were going off install them for me. But I don't know what the situation is, so I'll have to speak to them next week, I suppose, just to make sure. Right, okay, it's just making weld this on. Oh, hang on a minute. Down. So I have to sand it down a bit there, just to round it off a bit, so that's no dealing. Why do I have to basically do this? Never mind, it's there to test me. It's there to test me. Okay, let's see if I can get some. Okay, what we got? 101,000 now. Sorry, this is Donovan, right? He is from Scotland, right? And ever since I basically heard this on that film with Michelle Pfeiffer and Johnny Depp in Season of the Witch. Sorry, Dark Shadows, sorry. I'm going to make this essential. Now, where was I? Okay, here I am. What I'm going to do is go back and do a test fit on myself. So where that marker is as well, I've got to basically promote it up to that side, like so, that bit's up going underneath it. I'm going to keep a space for that. So I know that's my POR. So I'm going to put one in there, but a tiny little one, because we need to actually, this thing to actually shift. So you actually shift it that way now. So we use that as a base. That way. I want something a bit more. Sorry, I've got a bit. I didn't want that mix. So I'm not being fussy, there's certain mixes I like. We can change that. Sorry, I was brought up in this music, guys. Sorry. Damn, I found out. Bollocks. Never mind. I've got to find a 12-inch because I love that song. Oh, I'll put 9s in that. Remix. might be the remix I'm after. I do remember it, because I actually had to basically buy it off someone, I had to basically give him a blank tape to play on my Walkman. Right, we're going to keep that for space because that will make it easy to adjust. Space there, so I'm going to have to. Right, okay, so space. Just take this plate off for now, so I can really remove the webbing belt. A little bit across to there, like so. I'm not a bloody factory iron. So, with this one, we'll do this flat, and we'll basically bevel it, snapping this a bit. That's one. So fine. Oh, here we are. Good for you. So basically, literally, we've almost shape shifted to like the other side, if you know what I mean. And if you need to make adjustments, all I have to do is like rip them off and place your Velcro and stick them on. I want to make sure this has got to fit perfectly. So after that, I've got to make it start. Think of going tonight and actually start the ball rolling and start from scratch. I don't particularly want to do that. It's quite a waste of material there. Yeah, you know, it's not going to be a total disaster. Yeah, I hope not. Okay, what do I want? Right, okay, now I don't want that. Let's go to my library. We've got puppy, more puppy. There we are. I'm going to get it sort of done on YouTube for this. So that's where we're going to go up to. So we haven't got far to go. So I've made over what I needed to do. Just going to make some sort of like quirky detail on them. Not taking shortcuts, you know. If I've got some spares, I can actually adapt and actually get some brutal detail. And we use that as like the stop end. And what I'll do is I'll try and adapt that end there. So you're not going. So to be honest, you're not going to see like everything sort of crafted. Well, I'd like to basically sit back and actually start making individual pieces all in one hit. And basically, I've done this. As I said, I did this. So I probably repeated myself again. I do apologise. But what I've done is I've done some prep work before coming online, before broadcasting, right? To to actually literally put it all together, you know. Right, I've got to go. Right, okay, I have to go to the DIY hardware shop tomorrow, possibly. It's Saturday tomorrow, and it's going quick, isn't it? Soon be Christmas. What's Christmas? Oh God, my friend doesn't like me saying that. Years ago, you said to me, "What are you doing for Christmas?" And I said to him, "What's Christmas?" Right? And of course, he goes to me, "Am I a Muslim?" No. It's understandable if you've got children. Understand that totally. But when you're an adult, you don't sort of like believe in Father Christmas. You know, you probably have Father Christmas fight for your kids. You know, under a certain age. You know what I mean? You know, if it's like, say, a 3-year-old's Christmas, right? You know, it's like a new experience for them. You know, take them to the local department store to meet Santa. But after a while, you literally, well, you just don't want to know. Well, you know, I'm not being Scrooge or anything like that. Probably, you know, you spend all this money for one day. There's a lot of people, you know, get fed up with it. It's like spending a fortune on just for one day. You know, I mean, we used to have good Christmases when I was younger, but you know, everyone's moved. You know, most of my dad's, you know, my relatives have, you know, passed. My relatives of my dad's family have passed on. And then my mum's got relatives, sisters up in Scotland, and one in southeast, on the south coast of the UK, of England, right? You know, it's a bit of a trek to go like 700 miles to Scotland. my mum would actually say, right, if I wasn't around to actually keep an eye on the house, right, okay, she would move back to Scotland. She would sell the house and actually move up to Scotland. I would actually go with her, actually. You know, because because he loves Scotland. We don't, he loves his Scottish heritage. That's hot, low density 45 foam. It's nice. It's soft, but so what we're going to do, this is going to basically like our completion point, to be honest. That's going to go there, right? So literally it lines up with the like the other side. So we've actually turned to the other side. That's a place you can do some. Sorry about that. So you're a bloody DJ, which I'm not. So we nearly finished this crafting on this part, and after this we're going to do some detailing. So it's not going to be like you watching me sort of cut open foam most of the time. I'm trying to actually spread the spectrum on it, you know. going to do something different. Okay, right, just bear with me a second. Sliding down in Gravesend. I have to basically go and get a plaster when I basically have, before I have a shower. Or clean it up when I have a shower because look, that is actually basically weeping. Yeah, gross. So you don't hear sort of festive chat on the live stream. Okay, wait. So we're going to actually go that way and literally marry it up in the middle. This glue, this new hot glue for foam is actually going to last longer than like a normal stick. Okay, that's not good to happen, mate. Okay, let's just basically sand this baby down. So I'm standing on my feet all day. So I'm standing on my feet. I've actually got to sit down at the moment. I do apologise. I'll put the heat gun to like the foam reasons, but it actually seals up the pores in it because it's so porous, this material, and like, you basically put like a attempt to put any paint on it, that will basically literally soak through. You have to start again, you have to keep constantly putting coats of paint on it. And of course, if we just put some grip paper on here, we basically literally smoothed it down a bit, so we'll hopefully get a very nice paint finish on there. Now let's have a look where we're going with this. Okay, so tell you what, we're going to basically flatten this bit here. Cut it. Sorry about this one. Perfect. That's it. I just need like a flat edge so I can go against that webbing. Just some of this. Because this triangular rod, this 30mm triangular rod, is high density CF100 foam, so it's very good at sculpture with a Dremel or with the belt sander. But I will research online to actually go and get some 120 or 200 grit belt for that. Because it is rather abrasive, unfortunately. So I have to basically get some probably a finer grit belts for that. I know they're going to be around. It's nearly impossible. I'm using, they are around. I can guarantee it. Amazon can actually come up with anything within reason. Make sure so it's that side I want. Because hot glue, I usually spread it around for reasons so like the bond even Stevens. So it's no use having like a blob of it and just maybe, hoping it will stick. It will stick eventually, but if you basically put too thick blobs on it and it does spread on the surface underneath it you actually bond into, it can actually liable to actually fail. And I don't want armour failures, so I can't come on. Sorry, I've been fussy. Right, okay, we're listening to a dance sort of garagey sort of house music DAB radio station called Centre Force 88.3. Just basically got sort of a run out of ideas for like playlists at the moment on Spotify. Sorry guys. Well, it's either that you have like one of my World of Warcraft friends basically streaming something and basically listen to Chaz and Dave on the loop. I mean, you basically go and impress two girls from Denmark, right, and start basically getting onto YouTube on their smart television, actually singing Snooker Loopy by Chaz and Dave. And this guy's like younger than me, for God's sake. Something my old man or my mum would listen to. Mind you, they were appearing in like the film with Alan Ford, Richard Bryars, Honor Blackman, Tony Sells now. Oh, and Michelle Ryan in the Cockney versus Zombies film. Right, so we haven't got much to do on this. It's perfect. Let's just basically see if I can try. I'm going to basically, sorry, I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. I'm basically going flicking between like the belt sander to my work desk to actually just do a few adjustments. It wouldn't have to be, it's not like major. So we've got a flat edge there, that's cool. So yeah, friends of mine who want to go on holidays, who go on holiday to Europe or something like that. This is their attitude, right? They want everyone in continental Europe, right, to speak English. You know, if you end up basically, say for example, you go sort of like remote places, basically out in the countryside, you know, and basically literally Western culture is there, but it's not sort of catered for like Western tourists, right? You're basically not going to basically get like, you know, I mean, why would you want to go to a hotel in, say, Denmark or Sweden, and like, because like your mum used to basically make you bacon and eggs for breakfast? Why would you want that on holiday? Or why do you want to go to Spain and then then during the lunchtime you want to go eat McDonald's? You see, they say in Spain you don't drink the water, right? There's nothing wrong with the water in Spain, right? It's pure, you know, for London, right? The reservoir ready for like us to actually, you know, boil it for a cup of tea, have a shower, etc., etc. Whereas when you go to Spain, you know, it's nothing to do with like. I mean, I've been to Spain. I've been to like sort of. I've been to say the Basque region in near Bilbao. I was on a cycling holiday there, right? We didn't see like a hotel with McD's or cooked breakfast. It was catered for cyclists. We did an endurance ride, not a race, from Bilbao uh, all the way along the north coast, right, into the Pyrenees, then head over, then basically like finally got to Bordeaux in France, and basically headed back on the Eurostar, right? We didn't, you know, we didn't go, you know, expect to like have eggs, bacon for breakfast, McDonald's or sausages and chips and beans in the evening. We just basically ate what was there. And the reason why, as I said, the reason why they tell you to bring bottled water in Spain, it's nothing to do with like they've got inadequate water treatment facilities. Hell no, because if you're in like say the Costa del Sol and you're flying into Malaga Airport, right? And if you look out the window before the plane touches down, there is like massive big reservoirs sort of located, you know, where the mountains start, i.e. the Sierra Nevadas, right? And that's that is like meltwater coming off like higher up into the Sierra Nevadas, right? You know, from the glaciers, right? Okay, that's what it is. Right, and that's why they tell you, because the reason being is because all that water's going through like the rocks and all that, right? It's got high content of minerals, right? And it's safe to drink. I'm not bullshitting here because that's why I said. That's why you said, you know, if you basically have like, you know, a bad upset stomach and you basically like within running distance of the loo, right? It's nothing to do with like, you know, you've been drinking polluted water. It's because it's a high mineral content that actually giving your stomach that problem. And that's why I tell you, any holiday reps tell you to drink bottled water. You know, and not to have like ice cubes in your Bacardi Coke if you're a lady, or sort of in my case double Jack Daniels or some bourbon with one single ice cube. Right, okay, so we've nearly done like the major fabrication, so we're going to basically literally detail this just a fraction more. It has to be done, guys. I'm sorry about this, but I want to basically do a good job. I'm trying to like make this look more three-dimensional instead of flat. You know, because don't forget, there's a 2D drop painting, i.e. this one, i.e. that, so you can't see, i.e. that, right, converted into 3 dimensions. Because you know, I mean, I've seen some really good. I mean, there's one cosplayer, right? From I think she's from France. It was actually on Sky, right? And Blizzard thought she just walked out the game. Seriously, this is how good it was. Because I think it's the Heroes in the Storm, not World of Warcraft, right? And she was like Alastrasi, the Red Dragon. And it was amazing, just like she's just come out of the game. The detail, you know, it's entirely up to you. Anyone who's basically wants to do a build, it's entirely up to you how far you want to go with the detail. And being honest here, right, my builds get lost in translation, right? My creative brain suddenly goes into like full overdrive. You know, everyone else is like firing on 6 cylinders. I'm on a V12. You know, my creative brain. I'm not basically blowing my own trumpet, but that's how it is. That's how it is. You know, just get over it. I'll tell my friends. You know, some of my friends are absolutely jealous of what I do. They're trying to actually jump on the. They're trying to actually, literally, jump on the bandwagon. And basically, the people who follow me on both, like, say, right, you know, you get my support. Oh, that's handy. Oh, get in. We have actually got, you know, I thought I was going to have a humongous load of actually spare, but I don't. So I can actually basically do some detailing, a little bit more detail in between each of these sections. I'm going to try and have an even space like so. So that's basically so half of this we don't need to actually cover because not like if I was making it in foam, there'll be loads of crap tons of detail in it if it's like done in foam with a webbing secure. But I want to make sure because it's like an adjustable webbing belt, the buckle could be adjusted. I've actually done a dry fit on me, but if I need to modify it, I need to modify it. See what we can do here. I can chop some of these up and actually sort of add some bit more sort of brutalness to them. This is almost like when I did the braces from Lady Deathwing, like I had all these rocks on it. The other thing is when you're doing this in a place like if you've got your own self-contained place, or you're doing it in your back bedroom or anything like that, or even on your coffee table, right? It does generate a lot of waste. Right? I'm not basically trying to sort of put you off it if you wanted to do this, but it does generate a humongous load of waste. So I'm going to use these small pieces here, do a bit more magic with the sanding. I'm going to put some little detail all across the ensemble. I basically had to literally sand that down because I actually chopped it very badly. Well, one of my IT friends, right, he was told by his boss, right, during his appraisal, right, if you want to get on, you're going to have to basically diversify from like doing network support. And of course, that was his appraisal, right? You know, and when you have a follow-up appraisal within a year, right, of actually if you've done anything, right, and if you haven't done anything, right, they ask you why not. They don't sack you, because you're. And I said to this guy, you know, you should not sort of like ignore what your boss says, you know. And I said, look, and of course, I said, look, you know, follow your heart, you know. You make like you know the ledge, you know, you make the miss of what you're going to do later on in life. You're still doing the same job, you know, sitting at home, taking calls because he works for like support and basically like delegating support to them, whether it's like sort of like remotely or to or basically have like a physical presence on the client's side. Right now, what he was saying to me, he goes, he's jealous now because a lot of like 20-somethings, you know, who've actually probably got about 2 years out of university, right, are going coding, right, and they're basically earning good money. You know, there might be, you know, get a lucky break on a, you know, during the recruitment drive, right? But or they might even, you know, been offered like a guaranteed internship while still at university, and then suddenly going on to like higher things, you know, being guaranteed a job once they graduated. My old company, we used to have people taking like qualifications for like Institute of Purchase and Supply, or right, or building studies, right? You know, like a block release. And when they actually passed their exams, right? When they passed their exams, this is like encouraged by their boss, you know, to actually basically send their purchasing guys, procurement buyers, you know, for like big contracts, to actually go on block release courses, you know, or 1 day a week, right? And after the end of like say X amount of years, right? They pass their exams, they stay with the company. Of course, like the company, right? We're so happy that you passed your exam, you get like £200 on top of what you get. You get a £200 check as an award. But what happens is, if you suddenly got your qualifications and you were sponsored by the company, right? Okay, and you resign, you basically go for another job. They literally basically making you feel guilty. Oh, but we've trained you. You know, say for about 2 years, a year, 2 years after you finish your course, right? You know, you're basically going your block release for the company, so you leave, right? They basically get really, really nanarchy about it. And so what happens is the company decides to actually make these like people junior buyers, right? Ridiculous counter offers on salary. I mean, I'm talking about the 1980s. Talking about sort of like the end of the 1980s here. Let's go and make some like additional, just like small adornments. So it actually literally basically blocks out most of the webbing. You know. So basically put some more hot glue down there and then like let that dry and then just actually do a bit more. Just go basically dot them around a bit. So what do you think, guys? Honest opinion, please. Don't be shy. I can't move. I don't want to sort of move it too far, just in case I burn off. Yeah. That's why it doesn't stick itself to the table. There you go. So you got like a 3 cameras focused onto like one solitary subject at the moment. Be right back, guys. I need to go to the loo. So MC Jen, she's kitchen dancing as well. Looking forward to the cocktail player. And to Robert Laser, thanks for that, mate. Winding up the show. Probably got a couple more bits. And we are back. Okay, so we're going to do, I've just got some bits just transport over here to do the intermission. go to the fine standing with the jelly. Put these glasses on because I don't like looking at that balance about the plate. So there we go. What we're going to do is very, very fragile point. And we're going to turn it on the heat very slowly. If you think it's still warm, and the same with this, because you got really, really smooth. This is 1500 grit wet dry paper. We need to use what one I don't want. Same with this one, so turn it over. Turn it over. Big chip.
Music all night long, car sticker, ready center force. Music all night long. The new
I'll put one there. I think I'll have to do it. I'll just trim that down a bit. Just there, I think.
To decide whose side are you on. Your favorite
put it on
DJ
there,
needs
actually.
your support. At step back to back, the center force.
Let's put that one there for now.
The classic look like this. Girl power. Watch Charlie Denham and
Okay.
Leo Montana versus Peter B and ESP. Then it's Men at War as Boys at Work.
Right, sorry, last I managed to sit down.
Versus the Dolly Rockers in the label clash, and then it's the battle of
Remember, being on Twitch doesn't mean I'm actually rushing to get affiliation. I'm nearly there. You know, it's going to take me time. It's not something I'm, you know, got a target to do. To be honest, you know, not like basically literally. You know, if it basically arrives, it arrives. People do like my content, you know.
Look at that. The texture, the colour, the consistency. Maybe just one more stir. That's perfect.
Jim, tease up. At King Concrete, we don't just make concrete, we mix it.
Do you? Yeah.
We reckon it's the best. The concrete of kings. We now offer domestic concrete too. So get some of the proper stuff direct to your door. Find out more at kingconcrete.co.uk.
So I might have to take, let's just have, I might have to basically do a bit of dremeling there on that one now.
Centreforce has got a brand new residency. It's going to be down at the all new Faces.
So what I'll do is just sand it down a bit more. Just particularly on that flat edge.
And come and join us.
Oh, where are you? Go, where did you go? Ooh. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fish out another.
Had to put up gas prices by 12%. I
Oh,
feel
cool.
really bad about
Hey, where are we?
it too. How's the lecky going? Yes, I really like how good
Okay, we're going to use some 1500 again.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? Yeah. Just in time for winter too. Cha-ching. Yeah, I'll tell you what though. Have you heard about these people insulating their homes with evergreen and saving up to 50% off their energy bill? What?
I was speaking to a builder's neighbour. He basically does his house up. You know, it's really nice. He's got rid of the. He got rid of the central heating. He actually put on the ground floor. I'm not sure he done it the top, in upstairs, but he actually literally did. He actually got rid of the central heating, all the radiators and everything like that. He put underfloor heating, electric. Then he basically where our kitchen is, because it's been extended at the back, he's actually put like a wet room, right? And he just spoke to me about this thing where they're basically going to get rid of like central heating gas boilers, like what we've got at home in our house, right? Exchanging them for installing heat pumps. It's like having a big air conditioning unit outside your house, Anyway, he said he shouldn't worry about it. It's going to be there. It's going to be like years, It's not going to be like a straight rollout after 2030. It's literally going to be like years in the making. It's going to be about another 5 or 6 years after the date. It's only like they're going to be not making any new boilers. Because to get one of those, it's literally going to cost you thousands of pounds. You're talking about 600 quid. Or whatever the government's saying, oh yeah, we'll basically give you a grant. That's only basically going to be capped up to £5 grand. It could be going to about nearly over £10,000 plus. We wait and see. My cousin's got his savvy regarding a car. He doesn't buy a car anymore from the dealers, like brand new or like say like about 2 years out, used car. He actually leases it for 3 years. If he's basically not doing the amount of money, he's retired. He's he's an accountant, so he's got some savvy. He's basically advised me on the Ethereum market. That too dry. Right, so it's just this tiny little bit. I think we'll basically chuck those away. It seems a shame though, but actually I will keep that one. Just you know, so sure. It's just like, you know, I've kept that so you basically got the adjuster band and sort of maybe cut to tighten it inside, so it's basically like this bit will be tucked inside. So it's not going to basically overlap here because otherwise I'm going to have a real serious problem trying to actually get this to work, if you know what I mean. Let's put that down to that end there. So here we are, purpose-built Lady Deathwing belt. The plate was the easiest thing to do, but it's like this detailing, like a sort of a webbing belt that you actually bought from Amazon, is going to be a pain in the arse. I think we'll actually put some wood burning on there because that's not going to hold. Might be able to. I think I'll make that a corruption mark. I've got any more there. Especially electric too. One second, it's been quite bloody. Where's this gone? Where's this gone? Damn, where the hell did you go? You've got, oh, here we are. Thankful for that. It was lurking behind the crates. How to actually fire EVA foam in the air from a belt sander by Andy Copplestone, or aka Designer. Just going to get the sound, get like the and then basically put the belt, blast of hot air with this, just get a tongue, so just I'm going to put that one there, you know, so I was actually going to basically have it like spaced out. I could have actually do some more. Just want to make it sort of a bit more aggressive looking, you know. Well, as like the words of like Miss Jessica Negri, to actually make it look brutal. And as I said, she basically had the same scenario of like got, the concept got totally lost in translation. Because and the idea of like Zach Fisher actually doing to actually for you to actually buy the designs, in AO large format files, then going off to your local custom bespoke large format printer shop and actually print them off for like say for about £3 or £4, right? Is ideal. You can actually like you've got the whole blueprint and actually help me out with a bit more on this design, because everything is basically literally life size. Everything's like full size. I think I will actually basically inquire about that. I think it's excess amount of money you can actually drop to Zach Fisher Art. I will double check on his Dropbox actually, and go from there. Right, so we are done with this actually. Let's just basically turn that glue gun off. I think it's to cool down. I'm just going to leave that glue to set just a fraction. And if I can clear all this rubbish away, because I will have to basically. What time is it? Let's have a look. It is 4:15 nearly in UK time. So we're cooking gas. And thank goodness I did all this prep work yesterday morning, and also this morning. This morning after I basically went down to the grocers. So I'll keep that because that might come in handy. So we're going to keep these bits of tape here for reasons, so we can actually see where it's going to meet up. But I'm not, fingers crossed, folks. So glue gun's over there. Let's just move this and hang on, stuck it to the right, hang on, stuck it to the thing. Now what I'm going to do is, this is unfortunately one of my my other previous wood burning tool has actually decided to die on me. It literally, you plug it in and I've got a nasty belt of electric shock, right? Now what happened is the whole of like the inside where the heating element was, right, was literally basically disintegrated. It just basically fell apart in a pile of charcoal or molten metal. So that would even though I did use it on a low heat. So I had to go and get a new one, and this like one I found out on Amazon came up. I thought, hell, let's go, why not? I go through, to be honest, I go through like tools for this, doing this, go like a dose of salt. It's only because they get used all the time and they wear out. They basically literally have a hard working life, Right, so we've got little individual points here. So what I'm going to do is, we've got heart shape, you've got everything, you've got like a knife there as well. Check you out. No ruler. This is quite cool. So I'm going to basically set this up, folks. We're now using this very fine point. Okay. So put that over there. Owner's manual. By you read the it's like you're doing TV, you read the owner's manual. A friend of mine, he's obsessed with like when he basically gets to like a new motherboard, right? He's got an addiction. He's got an addiction to new motherboard smell, or new keyboard smell. It's like, when you go to a new car, you pick up a new car from the showroom, right? After basically paid the money, right? And lo and behold, you are actually addicted to the new car smell. Well, hang on, what's that? I don't want to put that on yet because I've actually got to put this baby on. This is just, we're going to basically do some detailing. So what we got here? Oh great, excellent. I'm going to share it up Instagram. That is, I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Right, so what we got? It says here, using the soldering iron under the influence of alcohol. Okay, so we've got soldering, you've got burning, you've got everything. You've got to place it in the rack. So okay, then you've got a thermostat on this. This is handy. That's on. That's off. That's on. Right. So just going to put a very low heat. Now what we're going to do, we're going to basically highlight some of these very minute sort of burnt marks across some of these what's in. You know, we're going to highlight those up. You know, because I'm hoping I'll basically get some painting before I go off air. You know, so I'm trying, as I said, I'm trying to create some more content, or some more sort of like fresh content. I know it's like one cosplay, but it's all the stages of it. Do you understand? So, right, so let's just basically put that up there. I might have to basically go and try and keep this intact. But I mustn't remember exactly what I've done with the old soldering iron, where look, I've actually basically got a nasty burn there. That was me, it was over there. Right, that's warming up. Excellent. Now once we get this little detail done, I'll go on to the next stage. We have to do an intermission, be right back to actually do this, because I need to actually get this table well and truly clear before we start. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's like sort of like changing. Right, I've got to make sure which one's which is in here. I think that's it. You've got heart shape, you've got clubs, you've got a template there, you've got oh, that's for the knife. You've got cuts for the make it a hot knife. You've got everything in here. Oh shit! Hang on, what am I doing? So I might have to go and get a little box and put all that. Look, pardon me. I've got templates in here. I've got soldering iron, but I've already got a soldering iron. I've got a butane pad Dremel. Just go and move this forward just a fraction. There you go. Let's have a look. So we've got some very fine cuts. I think we'll start off, that's going that way. Eventually comes round to there, down. Because you have to do it on the, you have to do it on the plate as well. Okay, there we go. Now the painting is not going to be a rough job, right, which I'll tell you about next time. Tell you about soon as. Right, so let's just like basically got the right temperature, and we are just fractionally turn it up now. Okay, that's off. I don't want it too hot, I don't want it too cold. Without you in my life,
So shout to Wickle House and Crew. Thanks to Hassie and the Classical tonight at Primrose. Oh, Rose, yeah, we're these with Dino and Peachy and boys. Have a good night tonight, guys. Full very own Guy Fawkes or should it be a 5-star? Yes, Jim and the Jeans, like in that, brother. Locked in Stephen Fry, Deathwing, bring it up to the mates. Oi, you're always deliver bangers from Stevie Lee. Thank you, my son. I try my hardest. Shout out to Johnny B, lucky to meet you on the dance floor last Saturday. Thanks, Andy. Nice to meet you too, mates. Shout out to all the gang on their way down to the Torture Garden tonight from the Hartford Crew. And Stevie Oden, guys. And Adam Spaghetti is in the... So I'm finally getting to meet all my field pots now. They're all starting to slowly surface at the gigs I'm playing.
Just wait for that to warm up. So.
Finally put names to faces and all that. Our faces to names, however you say it. So if I haven't met you yet, guys, I will see you on a dance floor soon somewhere, yeah? I'm so in love with you. I'm so in love with you. I'm so in love with you.
Early Monster, live on Center Force.
So in love with you.
Right, so we'll start off up this end first.
It's time for the medicine to be administered with Dr. Phil.
Okay, so sorry about that. I just basically sent this over on WhatsApp to like Centre Force Radio about this. So I have to do this very carefully. What I'll do is basically move this camera a little bit forward so you've got a sense of me. I think you can see it properly. I'm trying to get you in the picture here, folks. Okay, go along here.
And of course the obligatory goosebump moment. Yes, guys, I've just got them on my arms. cheese, thank you, my friend. Messi is going to be crazy. And Ruby Steve, well, you make me wet. Really waiting for Phil. Momo and Jill, sending lots of Friday love. Thanks, guys. And a big shout out to Kirsty Page. Becky World, hope you got my beers in the fridge. Filthy Friday disco. So a shout out to Chinese Out, please. There you go, mate. And Mr. Penge Eddie, such tiny beats. Thank you, my son. I am with Paul Cheryl and Billy. The phone on Trent Gagnostic was some funny filth. I thought it came up with a good idea. She said if the Santa Claus family sent out a really, really good message, they could send a fan saying,
Let's move that along a bit. Okay, so we're nearly there.
where has he gone? He's here somewhere. He's in all these bad messages I'm getting. Stars 50s up. I'll get locked up if I do that. And after that, a shout out to the Mrs. Sam, got it still double up for you guys. And Tracy B, the Yorkshire Massive, is in the building. Up in my darling.
Cool it down. So I've got to do this very carefully. So far, so good.
This is Filthy Fridays with Andy Manston. Calling all you filth pods. It's Andy Manston's Filthy Friday on Centre Force 883.
The low density foam, that's 45, is a lot easier to burn through, but you know, if you keep the wood burning tool too much onto it, it will actually just burn a humongous hole. You don't want that to happen. So, what we do is basically open up a little bit, even though we've got some glue on there. That's we're going to make that as a corruption. Bit of burn. Just a little bit over here. So we've got lots of Just making some marks across here. Yay! Done. A little bit down here.
Shout out to Harry Brown and the Ginger Ninja and Archie Dow for keeping it moist in the back of the car, yes boys. Hey Andy, good to see you last Saturday at my house event. Cracking set as always, big love from Serena and Cheers. At the event, love to you two guys, and also love to Lee and Nicola. The old school mates.
I think what I might do, I might do a bit of personal touch in there. Got to double check, so that one's a little bit shallow there, so we want to make it open up the outer fraction. That looks a bit more brutal. What I'm doing with this here, I'm just making it follow on this. That's what I've done with like. Perfect. A little bit of dip there. Right, so that's done it. Now what we're going to do is the last bits of here, I think I'm going to maybe burn a little bit into there. Yeah. Make it more emphasised, to be honest. Perfect. And also on this side, do the same here. So when we come to marry them up, we can then each side, so concentrate basically like a continuous corruption mark on like the belt itself. Remember that, you know, this is going to be like highlighted when you start painting. Perfect. Let's turn this off. Move this camera back over here, ladies and gents. So when we actually mount that back, that's actually going to correspond. So those are the two. Bingo! Done.
And Coastal Page locked in, Andy, and here for some Phil. Shout out Pocket Rocket. We hate to be you soon. Shout out to the old geezer with onions all over him. Remember that song? And shout out to Daz Bow. And they the girls 15 minutes to Andy most of the big one, celebrate HA for give you 1 out of absolute bangers tonight as it's fireworks night. Happy birthday Friday, guys. Here we go.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is going to basically dremel this one here. That one there, so everything else looks perfect. So just bear with me a second, just got to dremel this. That's not one. Done. Cool. Just kind of basically over the edge, right over the earth and some hot air just to let it in, make sure I've got any sort of horrid glue marks I can actually try and get rid of now. Okay, this is alright actually. I think that's sure. I've done I could actually get rid of those glue marks by putting some WD-40. Trouble is that will see if I can do this, but I need to really be careful. Let's put a little bit in the middle there. And making sure that glue mark, that doesn't go to the end, otherwise it eats through it, and then I'll basically have to square one and have to dry it off and re-glue it. It's a pain in the arse. Pardon my French. And hopefully I'll be able to pick that off.
It's time for the medicine to be administered with Dr. Phil.
Now, really true, I should really, to be honest, I should be using a cotton wool bud for this. Well, WD-40 won't work on hot glue. You have to be white spirit. That's what I was told. I need to actually pick this out. I'll have to clean this out anyway.
On DAB across London and the home counties, this is Centre Force.
Soak that through, that's coming off.
And so guys, just you here, welcome to Silky Friday. And if that's going to be 1 out of absolute bangers tonight as it is fireworks time. We're all getting excited, aren't we? Oh, you can all say it, don't worry, I know you adults are getting excited as well, so am I. Animals to Falcon, Charlie Banger, Big Love, Pablo and Manolo. Good afternoon guys. Thanks Andy for making Eddie B right on my way home. this, mate. It's what I do, brother. Cybird and Chris Mack, legends. Good afternoon, guys. Can't wait for the effing film. Matty Nash. I can't say that word.
Okay, so
And Mickey Mouse in the building. You know, it makes sense. Finger on the pulse. Father and son.
I just want to basically get this prep before I start.
Oh, God, there's so much.
When it's coming off.
You're on one tonight.
Andy Manston, live on Centre Force.
Right, best I can do with that, I'm afraid, guys. Okay, what we're going to do now, just go back and move everything. Be right back. I'm going to go for an intermission break because I want to actually change everything around. Okay? Give me 2 minutes.
Centre Force! Come on then. And a set to the Bromley Dave and Cocky Fireman going to chase. Thanks, guys. Drink Charles in the centre force, the only way to spend Friday. Doris from Big Hot. And number one, Phil for Hot House Honey. Just locked in. Great to see it. XO Works, good, my darling. He did go off, didn't it? Oh, yes, banging tunes always. Lisa Niggas. And Michelle Blanc. He's locked in with loads of fire. Well, explosions, actually. Fireworks, not it? Steve Allen Ken. This is Phil Field in the top shelf for local news agents. Oh no, mate. Keep your boy Kitchen Raven in Brentwood. And Marky Boy, I am Mankey, get the filthy fix before I fly to Tenerife in the morning. No, mate. None of that. Happy weekend to all the Tenerife family. And Sir Cloud, there's Sugar. Mickey the Bank Robber. Jay, Jim, Bowen, Paul, Nigel the Tax Dodger. Paul, Sharon the Freya, McCartney, and Tony G, Jeannie Leonard. Wicked show, mate. Thanks, guys.
Dr. Phil is in surgery.
Here we go, guys. Come on. Another shout out to Hannah and Millie. Locked in and locked on. Off to go and see Fatboy Slim later. Have a nice night, guys. And she's banging out this afternoon. MC Jensen. You know.
Okay, we are back. Right, okay, so we changed the scene. I'm going to try and get out, not be in the way for this camera. Just move this back over there. Right, so we're basically changing the scene. We're about to painting now. So what we're going to do, my task now is actually like paint this. And I might have to basically put some of these on blocks as well. And what I'll do, I think I'll decide to actually paint the belt dormants first because like this is flexi paint, you can actually use it on the fabric as well. So right, okay, we've got black flexi paint. Right, can you see this, guys? Let's just basically move this down. Hang on. Just make you see it. Okay, right, code. Okay, you've got like a free camera view on here, folks. So, I really need to shape this because, so we're going to coat this in black, right? So we've got a very nice black base coat because, you know, it's like that's on the primer. I'm just going to do this last job, and I have to really have to sign off, and I'll be on later with a Tom Clancy stream. So that's what I basically decided to put the paper down. So we're going to coat all of this in black. It's a very messy job, I know. And you're going to have to leave this to dry and actually do the underside, particularly around here. I might be able to get away with it. So this black, this flexi paint black will give us a nice cut base coat as like our foundation stone. And I'm basically put it on to try not to actually touch this too much. And that's why I've got the gloves on. So once we get this base coat, we can actually start doing the colour on it. It's going to be a very nice gunmetal with a hint of silver. Doesn't that sound good? Now where we've actually put the corruption mark with the wood burning tool, we'll leave those black and then literally highlight them with a highlight them. Of course, EVA phone. It's very, very good. Gives you nice. If you make, you know, prep the phone, then you're going to get your, you know, like the job of it is going to look absolutely amazing. See, all these top sections here are all going to be like silk gunmetal. And I just need to move this down just a fraction. Start from this end first. So I've done quite a lot today. I mean, you know, I haven't actually sort of bombed up, haven't actually sort of kept you guys waiting in the case of, you know, just see you doing like some repetitive things, actually crafting it, which is always the way. Went on tonight, this afternoon, sorry. And any of these like bits overhanging, you can actually literally pop up with the blocks.
Hope you're well and good. Love flows from Chelmsford. I'm excited for fireworks tonight. I cannot wait. Shout out to MT Horny Pete who's listening. I will see you later. And shout out to Ollie and Farnando. And everybody people the Central family. It's a flag for the sugar. Bring it back rubber. Straight in for horsepower crew. Nigel Factoria. Paul Sharon Fred McCarthy. And Tony D. Leonard. Really so thanks guys. London's finest caddy, Matt the Legend is in the building. Good afternoon, mate. Are you ready, guys? Come on. Happy Filthy Friday.
I'm having this like brown paper. This paper here is actually the paper used for actually masking off if you're doing cast, paint for spray, for paint spraying. And it's basically handy if you want to basically use it for templates. Just basically going over the brush. I don't have like sort of nasty blobs, drips sort of hanging off it. I mean, this is just a top coat until, that's like a primer really. And what's more, the flexi paint is going to soak into the webbing fabric. It's going to literally, make it a little bit more rigid when it's dry. More so.
And the messages are going absolutely ballistic tonight, guys. I've got so many to get through, so please bear with me. And Chapo Norby boys and Talkie Talkie, good afternoon, guys. On the floor or something like that, make it really dirty. It's a cereal on top. Cocoa Pop. And so, guys, I've just noticed it's nearly already the first hour is up. How quick has that gone tonight, eh? I'll let this one play through, though, don't worry. So, last one for me tonight, no, for the hour.
So we're going to basically do this. Going to continue basically painting this black, and then we'll have to basically do tomorrow. We'll have to basically, what I'm going to do is go across that way and then actually work the way back. And basically flip it so it's like this bit's top here.
And so, guys, all good things come to an end. Unfortunately, it has like you on the summer. Catch me up on the other side. I will get to your message, my friends. We've got some naughty beats for you, second hour. See you back on the other side, guys.
And of course, some of this is like, as you know, some of this is like you not see it. These 45 grade density foam, so it's a little bit grayer than like you know, pure black.
The Black Friday sale is now on at ITS. With 4 whole weeks of Black Friday deals, there's never been a better time to save on power tools, workwear, hand tools and much more from all the big brands like Nikita, DeWalt and Milwaukee. There's hundreds of great prices on everything you need to get the job done. And new deals added every Friday morning to keep you coming back for more. ITS Black Friday sale, where you can get all the tools you need at the price you want. Now on at its.co.uk. It's time to decide. Whose side are you on? Your favourite DJ needs your support. At Step Back to Back, the Centre for Sound Clash. The clashes look like this. Star Power, watch Carly Denham and Daniel.
I'll do this first. I mean, you know, like the first bit was the, you know, this is not, none of this is like difficult. You know, if I can get this done.
And then it's the Battle of the Underground with Alex P's Dark Funk versus the filthy Andy Manster. Then it's the Battle of the Vocals as the legendary Rat Pack take on Three Hardway, Rooney, Bubbler and Lines. Plus in the White Room, all that's 8
And of course, those one, the chains up there, oh god, it ain't a nightmare. I think what we do is we'll keep those off there and actually basically lay them on this bit of paper and then paint them as best we can, but we don't have to basically do the first coat, leave it to dry and basically put another coat, do the first coat which is going to be the top. Once that is dry after 5 to 10 minutes, then we can actually lie it on here. Otherwise it's going to be an absolute mess to try and handle it.
And we have training centres in London, the Midlands and Manchester. Once qualified, we can supply you with all the materials you need at a discount. And we offer a full suite of support with teams. Yes, see genflow.co.uk/training.
Turn this over.
401893 to get your 15% discount. Use resin force.
And then we can actually basically do the rest of it. Let's basically start from here and go boop, 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 like a sort of, you know, in a train.
All that health and safety stuff, you got me joking. But he said, go on the course anyway. And you know what? I really enjoyed it. A lot of it's common sense, really, but the trainers at Target Zero really made it fun and easy to understand. And guess what? Now, I'm the governor.
Target Zero, the leaders in safety training courses across the UK, online and in person. Find out more at targetzerogroup.co.uk. Book direct with us and save. Quote Centreforce for your 10% discount.
Question. Do you know what aggregates are?
These ACS ads are funny, but honestly, I've still got no idea what an aggregate is.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, it's you, but when you were listening.
I'm always listening. Just call me Alexa. Look, imagine you were going to lay a patio in your garden. What would you do?
Well, I'd just put the slabs on the grass.
Oh, you just sink into the grass, ruining your lawn. That's why you need aggregates to form a base to put them on.
I see. So they are really important.
I'm beginning to like you. We should meet up for a chat.
Suppose you know somewhere that does a nice coffee too.
You bet. ACS Aggregates. Find out more at acs-aggregates.com or call Stevenage 01438.
And because I've actually put the hot air gun to this as well, the paint, I don't have to paint like black coat sort of matte because it just literally soaks through. And what's more, I can actually hide like any horrid glue marks as well, because you know, this is all like bonded to like the belt using hot glue on a little base plate. So where there's a will, there's a way. Right, let's move that across to there. Okay. That one. So we're going to have to do a bit more tilting this over once the rest of it's dry, because otherwise it's going to get really, really messy. And I don't particularly want to make more work in actually having to basically touch up bits that basically I've, stuck with my hands with, you know what I mean? Of course, you get some people that basically only know computers, they give up. Oh no, I can't do that. Oh no, no, no. You just bloody try me, mate. If I do something, I fucking will do it. Pardon my French. Just move that across over here.
Running out of concrete on a job, it's no laughing matter. That's why you need King Concrete, providing quality concrete and screed to builders of all sizes, fast and with no...
I took somebody to a pub in Chelsea, right? It was right next door to Imperial Wolf, right? And it was one of the pubs that Nathan Chelsea was filmed, you know, like a series about like, you know what I mean? It's got it's actually finished now. I quite enjoyed that. Anyway, and of course, this guy wanted a restroom. Seriously, right? It's so funny, right? It was hilarious because he was trying to find a restroom. There's only some guy there wearing like the sort of a tweedy jacket thing, right? Okay. He followed him, right? And it says like a sign for like the men's, right? And of course he can't find the door. Okay? And the door, right? You know, if you get into these stately homes, you've got like a hidden door, right? It looks like a bookcase. That sort of thing. One up on me, matey. And he's basically moaning about, oh, you know, the door, Lou's are bloody blocked up. You go, oh, stop moaning. It's quirky. You know, you get that in like stately homes or castles. You know, you've got like a drawing room, like there's like a hidden door behind it. Or like a wall, you know, looks like a wall with dado round. Bingo, you know, exactly what you've got in the White House. Anyway. So he also came to another pub in King's Cross called the Lighterman, right? And in King's Cross, you know, because of the Channel Tunnel Railway, like the whole area is completely redeveloped. If you were there, say, 20 odd years ago, before that became a Channel Tunnel Railway terminal, you know, it's Southampton International, right? It was really run down. You've got junkies everywhere. It's like, you know, you've got junkies, you've got homeless, you've got like a road that literally go down, right? You stop your car and there's some sort of hooker going into it. That's how bad it was, right? The canal was absolutely polluted, condoms everywhere, syringes, you know, absolutely revolting. So they did it all up, you know, as soon as you come in from like whether you come from Amsterdam, Paris or Brussels on the Eurostar, right, you've got this very nice area, you know, they've done it all up really nicely. So where the old sort of goods yard is, right, behind the station, they actually got like a pub right on the canal side called the Lighterman. Really nice pub. Got some decent beer, some decent grub, you know. And he goes and finds the box, sorry, the restroom, right, for the men, right? And he's moaning again because apparently, right, they got the loos, the restrooms are unisex. Seriously, unisex. He could not believe it. He was moaning about it. He even moaned about it when we went to Sweden. He went to a bar. It was like, you know, it was like, I said, for God's sake, Nigel, have you ever watched Ally McBeal? You know, with Calista Flockhart, right? Have you ever seen it where, you know, they actually have like shared restrooms, right, for like sort of like, you know, workers bonding, you know, between like, you know, like the sexes, you know, man and female. No. All he is basically concerned about is like where his next microwave pizza is. His late dad, God rest his soul, said he needed a good woman. he's fighting the women. I'm sure he is, right? You know, because he's like quite a bit, you know, he loves his wow play. My friend, she's a secretary, right? She now works for like a sort of a development company in Greenwich near the O2 Arena, aka the Millennium Dome, right? And he said, well, your friend Nigel, right, is going to, you know, he's scared of any girl basically parking her, leaving her credentials inside his metal, you know, his top cover, you know, leave her cornflakes or a toothbrush, you know, because he's so engrossed with his gaming. Even his old man, God rest his soul, used to say, "Is like, you know, the internet to him is like a drug." Right, I think let's have a look. I'm going to basically do the other side in a minute. I'm not going to do that now. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry it's going to be like going to cut this short, man. So there we are. That's the belt we're doing at the moment. Why is that? It's all right. Okay, that's auto focusing. Right, so I really, really, really must must go off air now because one, I need to have a shower because I'm actually bloody got loads of dust in my hair. Two, I need to go and get some food. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope it's basically been a useful stream. You know, from starting something that's basically, you know, fabricated from EVA foam to actually mounting it, you know, putting it all together, and eventually you come to the stage where the enjoyable bit is actually painting it. So, without further ado, have a good evening. Enjoy bonfire night, you know, some of you, right? And I'll be back on later with a Tom Clancy stream after having dinner. So, bye for now.